We need you at Atkinson and 20th. Some kind of explosion.
An East Side neighborhood awoke by an explosion.
Caller saying 3 houses just blew up.
Neighbors running into the street only to find a house completely leveled.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. There's people trapped in a house. It's exploded.
First responders frantically digging through the debris, pulling survivors from the rubble.
Let's get her out of here. Get ready to catch her.
It was just unbelievable. You could feel the compressions in your chest.
And witnesses shaken up, trying to make sense of what just happened.
All of a sudden, it was just like a loud boom, and it blew my door open.
From the station that is local for you, NBC4 at 6 starts now.
An East Columbus neighborhood covered in debris tonight as a house that once stood here, blown off of its foundation, leveled after an early morning explosion.
Chopper 4 showing us this live view tonight of what's left of this house and the destruction it caused in this Mount Vernon neighborhood. Tonight, investigators still combing through that rubble, trying to find out exactly what caused this blast that was felt blocks away. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Mark Taylor.
And I'm Mike Jackson. Right now, 2 people are in the hospital after they were pulled from the debris just minutes after the explosion along North 20th Street near the intersection of Atchison Street.
NBC4's team coverage tonight of this developing story. Our Sean Lanier spoke to neighbors whose homes were also damaged. Plus, investigator Tom Soucy is learning more about who was inside that house.
And Rob Sneed will show us the dramatic rescue to pull some of the survivors out of that rubble. But we begin with Ted Hart, working to get answers from investigators about what happened. Ted?
Well, and arson investigators and Columbia gas crews were here all day trying to find evidence that might help them pinpoint the cause. You know, in the wake of this powerful explosion, there is still a lot of cleanup to do, but there may also be some tearing down as well. The force of the explosion was felt blocks away. Debris landed in trees. Windows were blown out.
It was like a missile to hit that house, and it just impacted everything else around here. I got glass everywhere, inside, outside the house. It's just a mess, man.
2 people were rescued from the rubble and rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Neighbors say the building was one of a number of vacant buildings that have been targeted by homeless people and drug users. The building was owned by Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority.
They reported to us that these properties should have been vacant, that they've had trouble with people breaking in, stealing copper and things.
After the initial explosion, there was no fire, but crews were called to shut down other gas lines in the area. The other concern was for the structural integrity of other buildings damaged by the explosion.
And we've had 3 exterior exposure buildings that have significant structural damage. 2 of them that won't be occupiable by the people. 1 of them may end up getting torn down.
And Columbia Gas says late this afternoon that it has determined that its lines were good up to the meter at the house, meaning whatever gas leak there was inside the house. One of the neighbors here told me that he did smell gas out on the street last night, but wasn't concerned enough really to call the gas company. Of course, the gas company says call whenever you smell gas. Local for you in Columbus, Ted Hart, NBC4.
All right, Ted, thank you. We are getting an up-close look tonight at the dramatic rescue to pull those victims from the rubble of today's explosion. Newly released body camera footage caught the moment officers and neighbors rushed in to dig out those people who were trapped under bricks and debris. NBC4's Rob Sneed continues our live team coverage and joins us with this unbelievable video here. Rob?
Mark, the video was hard to watch at times. You can hear a woman who was trapped inside screaming, "Please get me out, please, don't let me die."
Give me more pay. Get me up. Hold on. Stay calm, baby. Keep talking to us. Keep talking to us.
That was one of the neighbors who helped in the rescue. Throughout the process, he kept doing his best to keep that woman calm. Columbus police and firefighters rushed to dig that woman out of the rubble. There was another man trapped, and crews did work to set that man free. Now, live back out here, both Columbus Fire and Columbus Police are here on the scene investigating this. Of course, NBC4, we will stay out here and bring you the latest information as we get it. Local for you in East Columbus, Rob Sneed, NBC4.
Thank you, Rob. Now, take a look at your screen tonight. This is what the Mount Vernon neighborhood home looked like before the explosion. This is a picture from the county auditor's office. Gives a pretty good idea of what the two-story duplex once stood, what it looked like. Now, here's a view from above, courtesy of Chopper 4, and you can see a completely different property. The entire building leveled by today's blast. The house now absolute rubble, unrecognizable from before. We've got a side-by-side view showing the destruction from that powerful explosion.
Now, NBC4 Investigates has been working to learn more about the explosion and about the property, the company that is, that owns the property here.
The duplex, as we found out, was supposed to be vacant. Investigator Tom Soucy joins us live with what he's uncovered. Tom?
The Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority says it acquired the unit that exploded back in 1986, and up until about the last week or so, it's been occupied. They say the unit was in the process of being renovated, and that's why the gas and power was left on. Now, we don't know why the people were inside the place when it exploded, but neighbors have a few theories. Squatters or thieves? That's what neighbor Barb Clark suspects.
People have begun to live in these homes that has been vacant by CMHA. And they said either they were living and squatting there or they were taking pipes out of there. Cheryl Thomas is vice president of asset management for CMHA. Thomas says they don't know why these two people were inside this duplex or how they got in. Was the building secured?
When we vacate a building, we make certain that we secure the front and the back doors, and then we go by and occasionally check to see if we see individuals who are not supposed to be in there. A spokesperson with the Columbus Police Department tells me they're familiar with this address. March 30th, person arrested on gun charges. April 17th, officer dispatched for open door call. And May 16th, officer dispatched for suspicious person call. CMHA, we're asking you to board these houses up, make them secure so people cannot go in there and, as you see, get hurt. The Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority tells me it plans to hire private security to be on the site 24/7 and are working to shut off gas to the other vacant units. Local for you, I'm NBC4 investigator Tom Soucy.
All right, Tom, thank you. You can count on NBC4 for continuing coverage as we learn more about the victims here and the investigation into what caused the blast. We'll keep you updated here on the air and on our website, NBC4i.com.
We continue following.